How many of you have purchased that mini project from Udemy and started learning it?
Uh,
Ritesh?
yeah, Naresh, I have purchased and I have started.
Okay, okay. Ritesh, you completed till we discussed?
Yeah, I just checked, but most of the cases they asked for to set up that cloud, set up that. I have not done that one, but yeah, overall, whatever the concept they just explain, yeah, I just go through that.
Okay, okay, okay. We'll come to the topic. And Senthil and Nanindra.
Yes,
Hi,
even I took it. I came till the setup of Google Cloud platform. I have to register that free trial version, which we get $300, right? So I came till that point.
Okay, so you completed, creating that account and started working on it, Nanindra?
No, I just created it today. I have to go next.
Okay, okay. What about
yeah, actually, I bought the video, but I'm just haven't looked into it, but not created any account on it. I will after this meeting I will try to do it and will keep posted. Yeah.
so Pawan? Do you have any knowledge on this, like what we are doing currently?
I saw your videos from YouTube, Naresh, because last two sessions I missed by the time you started this project. Right?
So no problem. See, the idea is, you know, what we thought is, first of all, if you have some reference, if you have a reference for all our team, so that we will see that document, or we will see that whatever the data is available in that course, then by completing this course, then we are all on the same page, right? So that
Yes.
by the time we will get some knowledge from that. Let us say we are in somebody knows in somebody are at zero, somebody are at one, two, that positions. But if we want to do a project, if in, we need at least two or three, ratings by ourselves, right? So to bring to that level, this project we have taken as a reference from Udemy, so that everybody know what exactly is this project and how these people has done it. Then once we go through entire course, right, we come to know what we do exactly. Okay, so that is our plan. So that is the reason I already recommended to go and purchase this course. So many of you already purchased it, and the course is this one. So here, this course is all about practical, more practical, and some theory also we mentioned it. Here we have taken a target till session 5. This section 5 till advanced 5. But I think many of you didn't reach that step. But see, to complete this is in a month. So we should focus and complete it as per our targeted,
Yes.
okay. So I already told you, if you miss that, then it may create more problem for rest of the people to continue also. So, and
Okay.
even I gone through till three steps and completed three, but I didn't make a cluster. But yeah, I may create a cluster because I'm expecting from you, because I have already worked on a cluster. This is not a big thing for me, but still I can also do it along with you. But ultimately, this is very important to you than me, right? So that is the reason I'm expecting you all to create it, because somebody's already created and we have already information in ready made. So I think this is a very good opportunity. and it's a very easy also. By seeing that, we have to see that maybe the difficult when there is no material, when there is no proper guidance. But here you have all. You have a material, you have YouTube videos, you have some information that people are feeding you. If you have all these inputs, then you should leverage it. Otherwise, you may lose. Nobody will lose. You may lose.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the target is person should to do any work. If there is no target, definitely you won't achieve anything. Okay, that is for sure. Okay, take it serious. And I gone through these three, right? So I found it is very easy. Okay, there's no big task in
Okay.
this because, but I'm expecting you guys to not only go through, right? You have to practice yourself by seeing this video. That is our motto. Why we are taking this course is to practice it by seeing it. Okay, that is our motto. Okay, so that you will get some hands-on and also get some theory knowledge, and then how a real-time project will implement. Those kind of information we will get it from this. Okay, once you get this knowledge, as I told you, we will take some data our own and try to do. Okay, without seeing any here and there. Okay, then definitely you will get a more knowledge once you complete that level, or at least you complete this, you will get a clarity of what to do and what not to do. Okay, so I'm expecting you to complete at least till section 6 by next week. Okay, section 6 with hands-on. I'm not giving you much because section 5 already given a target till last week, but unfortunately, yeah, you people didn't complete it till section 5. So again, I'm giving you target till section 6 only. That is up to advanced Spark with hands-on. And I told you that I remember last week, like I may ask you randomly any 1 or 2 persons or many. So those persons supposed to explain what they did exactly in a practical by executing in front of all. Okay, so is it clear, guys?
Yes, Naresh.
Okay.
Yes, Naresh.
Okay, and from this first 3, right, what I understood that he just explained in an introduction what is the course and what are the tools that we may use, especially Hive and Spark and HDFS we are using, and how to use local like Colab. There is an environment, cloud environment, where we can write our Python or Spark course. Okay, and also we have a cluster in Google Databricks. Okay, platform where we will get $300 as a credit when we sign up by using any credit card. But they won't charge you. Don't worry, they will charge 2 rupees and they will reward you. But when you utilize the $300, then they may ask you to extension. If you won't give an acceptance, they won't charge you at all. Okay, but ultimately, when you progress in this course, you come to know when to use and when to start the cluster. Okay, whenever we required, whenever we want to execute something, then you go ahead and create a 2-node cluster with 1 master node, and once you complete your practice, you suspend it or delete it, so that your credits won't be utilized when there is no cluster which is active. Okay, so that is they explained, and he also explained some concepts in Hive, like Hive internal tables and external tables with the practical, and how to load data from a local machine. A local machine in sense, if there is any Unix environment there, how to pull the data from a GitHub repository on internet to a Linux system. Okay, what is the command that we will generally take? Okay, and he used it, one command, and with the link.
Naresh, sorry to interrupt. Like I went through the course, what he has explained, but there he pulled a retail store some file from the GitHub repository using wget, isn't it? So that has pulled the record file from the GitHub repository to the local system, isn't it?
Correct.
So what I have the doubt is it pulled to the HDFS or to the local system?
Local.
And from there he has copied that to the HDFS.
Let me Just will tell you what
Yeah,
exactly.
yes. I am not sure who is speaking. Yeah. Initially, he will pull the file to the local, and then he use the HDFS command to put it into the over there in the cluster.
You're correct. So first, what he did, let us say there is a internet or GitHub, right? From GitHub, this is a GitHub. So this is external GitHub account where we have all files. Then better you try to create your own GitHub and get knowledge if you don't know from YouTube, and create one on your name, because this is very important in real in a project in a project environment also, like in real time. Generally people recommend you to create your own GitHub. There is a common also, but every person is having his own professional or GitHub will be created. Okay, so there is a GitHub on internet. Then what he was doing, right? There are three node cluster. Okay, the three node cluster. In a three node cluster, there is a master. Okay, there is a master. Is a master, and let us assume these are the nodes. So that's what he is created. Okay, now this is a cluster that he was saying. Okay, anyway, for practicing purpose to get a knowledge, it is completely real time. You can assume it's a real time. Real time, we have a more nodes or more we can say master nodes. Okay, this is a master. The master, and these are the slaves or worker nodes. Worker one, worker two. This is a worker. This is what is explaining when we create a cluster and a data prop. We can create up to, he was saying that we can create up to 8 nodes cluster. So you can go ahead and explore it, but ultimately our intention is to get some real-time knowledge, right? So it doesn't matter that whether we are working on 8-node cluster or 3-node cluster. First of all, create a 3-node cluster and practice it. Okay. Now when we do SSH, right, then he is using wget command, and there is a file here. There is a file here. There is a file, let us say retail. Okay, retail.txt, some file is there. Then he is moving that to by using wget command. So is pulling this GitHub file to master. Master means generally in real time, this kind of stuff we won't do it, but still for practicing purpose, you have to do it, right? So what will happen, right? Here, there is a shell when we do SSH, right? There is a shell. Okay. Here we will write a command. Shell means completely Unix environment. Okay. And then this file will come here, okay, under the current working directory. If you want to provide any specific directory path, then automatically it will come to home directory. Okay, you can do it. What is the home directory? By using pwd. That is that you know. Okay, once data comes here, right? Once the data comes here, once the data comes here, then Hadoop, from Hadoop, right? Hadoop installed in these missions, like, okay, in these missions, all these missions, okay. But try to understand the master we may use as a edge node or gateway node, okay, since we are not using other nodes. So we are using this as a complete edge node or master node and submitting our applications. When we submit application, it will utilize the rest of the worker nodes and try to execute it. Okay. Ultimately, to load a data or create a file or create a table in a Hadoop, right? First of all, that data should be present in HDFS, because for Hive backend is HDFS only ultimately, right? So first of all, from this local machine, we can say this is a local. We can say this file again will move to, let us assume there is a Hadoop. This is a environment, Hadoop environment. Okay. So that file, right, will move to here by using HDFS get command or put command. Okay, put command, we will use put command, and then we will load this file to here. Okay, then from local mission to HDFS we are placing the file. Okay, so there is a particular directory where we can create a directory in HDFS and load this data from here to here. Now what he's doing is creating some table on top of this directory where we are stored it. Okay, now let us assume let us assume there is a directory. Let us Clever Studies directory, and after that retail is a subdirectory. Okay, retail is subdirectory. Okay, and this is the directory which we have created. Okay, so just assume it. This is a directory that we have created. Okay. Now we have to load this data or move this data to this path. Okay, ultimately, right, when you move this data, again what will happen? This file may come here. Retail. Tell that. Let us say CSV, whatever text file or CSV. Just assume CSV. Okay. Okay. Now this is an HDFS. This is an HDFS, and what is doing? Generally, what we will do? We'll create one table. Okay. We'll create one table. So we have created one table and given the location. Okay. Given the location, data backend, we are given this location. So when you query it, right, obviously data is available, or we will able to fetch the data, because the backend, when we are creating a table, right, generally we will give a location. Okay, like create table name and column name and data types. After that, row format delimited, or and then stored as a text file, or stored as a we will give stored as a text file. Then location we will give. Okay. Row format delimited and fields terminated by, if it is a comma, then we will give a comma separated, and then we will give stored as text file, and finally location. This is the syntax to create a table that you know very well. Okay, and if you won't give any external keyword in a table creation, then automatically it will create by default it's a manager table or internal table. Okay, so when you give a location to this path, or you don't need to load data in path command and place it here, because ultimately automatically the Hive will capture the data from here, since you have given the location as this one. Okay, now and what he explained, like when you drop a table, ultimately since it's a manager table, table metadata will be deleted as well as the data also will be deleted. So instead, if you want to create an external table while creating a table, then when you drop a table, only metadata will be deleted, but actual data will be stored as it is. Okay, so it's completely based on the our requirement. We have to go for whether manager table or external table. This is one more important question. I will explain in the next session, but try to understand the concept, what he is doing. Okay, and further, in Spark, right? In Spark, he also uses Spark to do some transformations. Okay, so to do some aggregations, like average salary or age is greater than this, or and gender is so and so. Okay, so monthly sales, something like that. He has implemented some aggregation or transformation actions by using PySpark. There, these extra nodes been used. Okay. Right, like he also created a data frame. First of all, he created RDD. Then from that, he showed how to create an RDD. Then how to create a data frame out of this directory. Okay, and then how to store the file. File in the sense RDD data frame. How to store a data frame as a temporary table and do whatever the SQL queries we generally do in a SQL. Okay, by creating a one temporary table in a Spark level. Okay, those kind of stuff he made it in the first 3 sessions in practical. So I recommend you to please go through entire videos till section 6. Then you may get a more clarity and when you do a real-time hands-on. Yes, is it clear?
Yeah, clear, Naresh.
Okay. So this is what happening. You have to practice this slowly, one by one. But you have more time, right? Actually, 1 week time. I am expecting you to complete this because we have to complete by end of the next month entire course with some good knowledge. Okay. So the next project, when we do our own, definitely next project may be very easy for us to execute it. Is that fine?
Yeah, Naresh. So, Naresh, can you explain me what exactly is the definition of an edge node?
Thing is, I already told one of my previous video, but still let me tell you. Let us say we have a house, right? To enter into your house, how you will go? How many doors you will use?
Yeah, probably through the main entrance.
Correct. That is called gateway node, right? Though we
Yes.
have a multiple doors in our house, we may use only one, right, to enter it.
Right. Right.
Same thing in a cluster. Though we have a multiple nodes, one node may be represent as a gateway node or edge node. Got it? Where we will submit all our applications.
So can we say master node as a edge node?
No. Here we are, but in real time, no.
Okay.
Master nodes means where all master services will run,
Master
like name node,
yeah,
resource manager. Okay, this won't be used as a competition or this won't be used as a any aggregations. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the worker node, we can say one of the worker node maybe are nominated as a edge node. That see, not only one. If because in real time, right, if we have a 72 node cluster, obviously 7 to 8 edge node will be declared by admin. Okay, and they will give us complete IP address and all, so that we have to use any one.
Okay.
But why they are creating more? Because if all are using only single node, right? If that got failure, then there may be downtime, right? So that is the reason they will do more nodes as available, so that cluster won't be go down. Got it? So in general, in real-time applications, we will use multiple nodes to submit applications. Let us say we have 10 projects, okay, or let us say 6 projects, and there are 8 nodes. Then what admin teams recommend you that better use node 1 instead of node 2, because node 2 is already occupied. Some project is continuously running on that project. Jobs are completely using that node 2. And since so it is very busy, better avoid using node 2 or edge node 2. So people will use rest of the nodes. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Naresh, I have a question. Generally, in real time in a cluster, there are some 10 nodes. So how would we know that which node we have connected to it? So I know that admin will give the IP address, and through that SSH we used to connect it. But how could we can try to identify which node we have connected?
No. Okay. Understood. See, thing is, first of all, if we have I already told you, if we are working in a development environment, there is only 12 to 14 nodes. Okay, altogether, there you may get 1 to 8 nodes, not more than that. Okay. or 10% of you can say if we have 100 nodes a cluster, generally they will allocate 10 nodes or 7 to 8 nodes as a edge nodes. Okay, and they will give you that information what are all edge nodes. Okay, and there is a already software got installed like Hue. Hue means when we are using, right, like you can say all the setup is already is there in that machine. Okay, we can connect by using putty, by entering credentials that they have given with your login password, user ID and password. You can submit your application, or there is already scheduler is there. If you provide all your project belongings to them, they will schedule it, or we can also schedule if you know the scheduler. Okay, so scheduler automatically will connect the cluster. It will do it. You don't need to do explicitly. You don't need to do any SSH. Okay. I think if you don't have any question, we will stop here.
Yeah, thank you, Naresh.